ShartimusPrime. ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella wagging it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits. Subscribe, you pinche man. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another live stream. It is July 5th, 2019, and this is a spoiler talk video / live stream about Spider-Man Far From Home. I will be discussing spoilers about Far From Home thoroughly throughout this live stream, so if you have not seen the movie yet and you don't want to be spoiled, well, get the hell out of here and please come back later after you see the movie so we can share our ideas maybe in the comment section, or you can see what we thought about it here in the live stream today compared to what you thought about it in the movie. So there are a lot of things going on in this movie that I did not talk about in my very brief non-spoiler review. It was just, so first off, so going back to what I was talking about in that video, this might possibly be my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. It may be my absolute favorite. There are so many elements in here that I thought were just on point. Exactly what I want from a Spider-Man movie. And I have my Spider-Man soda right here. Yeah. So this felt like a Spider-Man comic book. A lot of people trip off of some of the exterior things going on with our MCU Spider-Man, like, you know, how come MJ is not Mary Jane, right? What Michelle Johnson, is that the name that they went for? Or, his previous interest was Liz Allen, and not necessarily in the order, I mean, he has a thing with Liz Allen, but it's not necessarily in the same kind of way. And with Betty Brant, too. We never see him with Betty Brant. So there's like details like that, but there's also a lot of things underneath those exterior details that really feel like Spider-Man. For instance, MJ is kind of weird, right? Like, she's definitely kind of weird, and she's weird in the comic books too. Like, she's the weirder chick out of all of them. Like, she's the party girl. She's the one who always wants to go nuts and, and do the crazy fun things. But, and so she kind of stands out, and she's obviously super into Peter, but and doesn't really hide it. I feel like the MJ in the movies, like, it's pretty obvious this chick is like obsessed with Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Like, she's totally into him. Also, Betty Brant and Ned Leeds do have a relationship, like the longest lasting relationship for Betty Brant than we see in the books at all, So like Betty and Ned, like Ned Leeds is the boyfriend. Ned Leeds in the comics isn't Peter's friend like that. Like, they're cool, but they're a little bit more like on the, hey, we both want to get with the same chick. Peter keeps on flaking on Betty Brant and not making it to dates and things and disappointing her and this and that. There's this other journalist at the Daily Bugle named Ned Leeds, blonde-haired guy, and she ends up kind of liking him. And then, like, the two of them, like, Peter eventually just kind of, like, throws in the towel and goes, like, look, I keep missing all these dates and all this stuff. Like, Ned's a decent guy. Just go ahead and stay with Ned. And so Ned and Betty Brant stay together. All right, Starboy 785. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Now, what do I get out of this? I just responded to you and, like, you didn't even say anything cool. So it's like, what the heck? MJ was so much prettier in this film as a love interest than the defensive she was in the first one, although she kind of explains that her here. So, yeah, and I don't even think she was a B, dude. Don't you think it's a little strong? I don't know. I don't see how she was a B. But kind of weird, Spidey kicks ass in this movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. The Toby Spider-Man from, okay, totally irrelevant. Well, not absolutely totally irrelevant. So beats that made me really happy here was the MJ Peter relationship, possibly my favorite relationship for Spider-Man in a movie ever. Like even better than the Spider-Man 1 movie MJ, which I always liked that first relationship, but this I thought was way more interesting because it was like MJ in the Raimi verse was just she thought like it was like one day she just thought Peter was cute, you know, like that was just really kind of it. Like that's all we really get as far as like, and then and their neighbors, but really like that's like she's known with Peter the whole time. She never really has any interest in Peter at all. It's just like he gets bit by the spider, gets all yoked, doesn't need glasses, and she's like, hey, you have blue eyes. Like she likes blue eyes, and it's like that's kind of like all of Mary Jane's like reason for want to be with Peter is that he has blue eyes. And that's all. Like really, what other reason do we see her wanting to date Peter other than that, right? Like there's nothing that he does to kind of like, there's that whole fight scene, but that whole fight scene with Flash and everything in the hallway, but like that doesn't really win her over, you know? It's like, so like, I don't think they developed that relationship nearly as well as this version of MJ and Peter. Like this MJ is truly stalking Peter, right? Like throughout Homecoming, she's stalking Peter. And for the record, I definitely liked Far From Home more than Homecoming. And I really liked Homecoming. But this movie, I love this movie. Far From Home, I love Far From Home. So MJ relationship, and then the whole thing, like the tension really kind of builds up between the two characters, which I thought was awesome. The other thing so the MJ Peter relationship, and you can see they're just nervous talking to each other. That I love that. The other thing that I really liked was how things move on from Endgame, and the explanation with the blip, the way things tie in with the MCU. We'll talk about after credit scenes a little bit later. We're going to definitely talk about that, but just the way. Thank you, Josh DeBoss. And then the way we even get a new clip of Robert Downey Jr., right? There was definitely a new clip in there when it goes back to, Mysterio. It was the Mysterio thing, right? Where he named his project Barf, right? The whole hologram thing where he named it Barf, which I thought was so great that they did that because I didn't even think of that whole hologram thing at the beginning of Civil War. Until they brought it up in the movie, and I was like, man, that is so well written. And the fact that they pulled a character from Iron Man 1, I guess that was the guy from the Christmas Story, right? That they pulled that scene, that whole character, all the way from Iron Man 1. And I was like, wow, that is really creative. I thought that was a cool way to kind of create more. And I would expect and hope for more of this type of stuff. If you want this MCU to last a long period of time, you got to do like what they've done in the comics, which is kind of like pull things from the past that wasn't ever initially written for that or intended to be a certain way and kind of change it and add things from the past and change things so that we can get new material that's cohesive and part of this MCU universe. I do like the fact that they kind of took out the whole multi-dimensional thing. I was like, wow, this is a whole Pandora's box, man. I don't know how they're going to manage all that. And sure enough, it's like it got canceled. It's like, okay, cool. Also, I love that Molten Man was not the Molten Man. They don't even call him Molten Man in the movie. They don't even call the Hydro Man at all in the movie either. So that's not Hydro Man. That's not Molten Man. By the way, did you know that you could put the I-beam to the Molten Man figure into the arm right here? Did you know that? I didn't. So, but yeah, you can. And this is not a bad Build-A-Figure. So this is cool. I thought this was still cool. That was, the whole idea with the drones shooting things down. Okay, Mysterio. Let's get into Mysterio a little bit because we've already done so. Perfect. I mean, not even perfect, just beyond what I had hoped for Mysterio. My favorite scene of the whole movie, and Tate over here just said it, Mysterio illusion scene was one of the best scenes in the movie. For me, that was my favorite scene. I loved it. I was in it. I was watching it, like when I was in it, I was like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. And that whole bit with the broken mirrors all around him, like in my head, I was like, they're gonna pop out and start kicking his ass, and it happened. And because I haven't found the panel yet, but I'm fairly certain my memory serves me correctly, and I'm fairly certain it does. That's exactly what happens in the book with that whole amusement park thing that Mysterio creates for Spider-Man to go through. Now, in that, it's actually like a house of mirrors, so they're not like broken glass shards around him. It's actual mirrors around him. But it's but the thing, he's surrounded by Spider-Man that end up, kicking his ass. Like, so I remembered that so vividly that while I was watching the movie, I'm like, oh my God. And that, like I had seen it before, like, oh, and they're going to come out and kick. And they did. And I was like, oh, yes. Charlita One was like, oh, you're hysterical and everything at the time. Like, you got all crazy. But I loved it. It was so freaking cool. I was so happy. It was like geeky fan service to throw a nod in like that in the same movie where we get a nod to the Spider-Man PS4 game. Did you catch that at the end when he's swinging and he does the selfie? I was like, oh, right out of the game. Yes. Like, that PS4 game just came out and you just gave us a nod to that. Sinister Six is coming. Hopefully it won't be for like another several years, right? I mean, we have Vulture, we have Mysterio. It would be what I love. Okay, I'm so happy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just so stoked about that they've made this choice. But we get one Sinister Six villain in a movie at a time. That is so cool. I love that. In this one, we don't see now in Far From Home, we don't see any other Spider-Man villains aside from Mysterio, unless you want to count this guy and the Elementals that they're specifically referred to as Elementals. Okay, that I thought was really cool. I love that in the first one we get Vulture and we get Shocker, but that's it. So it's like they're only giving us one Sinister Six villain in each movie, and I hope they continue to do that, because if they do, they're going to give us a very, very good Sinister Six movie, unlike the one that I thought we were going to get, which sounded like it would suck. I mean, that means that they're basically kind of doing an MCU kind of thing that's going to take several years for them to build upon, and they can give us an incredible, amazing Sinister Six movie. That would be dope, man. And what would be really cool is if they somehow managed to not give us any Norman Osborn throughout that whole time period, which would be kind of rough for me. You know what I mean? But let's think about it. Who's the next villain going to be? Like, logistically, who do you think it's going to be? Me personally, I have a feeling Kraven. I have a feeling they're going to go with Kraven because, again, spoilers like crazy. This is what this whole thing is, right? The title of this live stream, spoilers. Hey, and then there's Joey B back right on. Yeah, it'll be way better than whatever the garbage that Sony was going to try to do. Exactly. So I think Kraven, because they put it out there, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and I think that's going to give the lead that Kraven would need to find out to find Peter Parker, find Spider-Man, and kill him. Like, knowing that Spider-Man is Spider-Man, he would want to go for the hunt. Also, we have, Doc Ock is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I would hope to see Doc Ock a little bit later. Like, I'm thinking if they're going to take this route of 6 Sony movies to give us, like, the 6th one would be like the Doc Ock one, I think. Like, I think that would be like the Sinister Six movie, Doc Ock forming the Sinister Six in that movie. And, oh my God, even though I would like to have a whole movie dedicated to just Doc Ock too, that would be cool. But if you're going to make it 6, like make it a nice even 6, Doc Ock is the main feature, the 6th one. Electro is another one. I would like to see Electro come in one of the later movies for this. Sandman would be a really cool one to see early on. So that's like, those are our choices for original Sinister Six characters. We could JJJ and Scorpion that could be sooner. We also got a glimpse of Scorpion in the last movie. I was wrong about that. Yeah, but it was such a tease, right? Like, we just see Vulture and Scorpion just just talk a little bit. They barely touch on that. So Rhino's not part of the original Sinister Six, neither is Venom. I'm rejecting all villains that aren't part of the original Sinister Six right now because I want that. That's basically it. This is fan talk, and this is like my fantasy. Is Mr. William does not want Sandman. So we'll talk about the JJJ scene, but I'm speculating for right now. Like my preferred order of this would be next movie, Kraven. The one after that, Sandman, and then Electro, and then Doc Ock. And I like that particular order because we're stepping. It's giving enough space from those other versions of the characters. You know what I mean? The Spider-Man 3 Sandman, Amazing Spider-Man 2 Electro, and the Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock. It's like it'll be enough time away from those characters, those previous versions of those characters, where you'll feel like the need to want them. You know, like you'll want to see the Sandman character come back. You'll want to see Sandman. And I think they would do a great job on that character. It's going to be a totally different version of Sandman than what we've seen before, man. So they could. I've heard also that they hinted that Osborn bought Avengers Tower. I think somebody had said that they'd seen something like that. They had originally wanted Avengers Tower to have Osborn written on it, but then like they changed it to like something for us to like keep guessing for. I think that. Yeah, the Oscorp Tower. I would much rather prefer, and Spidey over here just beat me to it, that Hot Toys Nick Fury is right back here. Is that I would prefer that to be the Baxter Building. That would just make so much more sense to me. I would love that to be the Baxter Building. They said it's gonna be a while till we see the Fox properties come into effect, but I think it's gonna. I think that's what they're gonna go with it. I hope. I'd like Norman Osborn to come in much later into the game. I want to see Spider-Man get into college. I want Spider-Man to meet Gwen Stacy, which is like one of the biggest loves of his life. It would be cool to see MJ and Peter kind of break apart, and then Peter and Gwen get together while he's in college. That's where he meets Gwen in the comics. He meets MJ in college in the comics also. Very fascinating that, the original Spider-Man comics, they kind of like repeat the same relationship dynamic that he experiences in high school as he does in college. Like in high school, it's Betty Brant and Liz. Liz, she wants that Parker, and he's with Betty, and Liz kind of is dating Flash and stuff. And even though Liz kind of expresses that she still wants that Parker. In college, he's dating Gwen. MJ is dating not Norman, freaking Harry. And even though MJ is dating Harry, she expresses that she wants that Parker. And it's just kind of funny that it works out that way. But I think I'm hoping we get Kraven coming for Spider-Man in the next movie. That I hope is going to be the next villain. I think it would be cool. And another thing that's kind of making me feel like it's going to happen is that they just released that 2-pack. That the Dark Reign, not Dark Reign. What was it? I can't remember the name of the comic off the top of my head. It wasn't Dark Reign. That was a different Kraven Spider-Man story, I think. But yeah, the Spider-Man story with Kraven, Kraven's Last Hunt. Sorry, Kraven's Last Hunt. That I think will be the storyline of the next one. So we just got that 2-pack, and I feel like that's like the hint that they're going to do. So the guys from Hasbro, they like to one thing I know that Hasbro likes to do is that they can't talk about upcoming movies from Disney, but they get hyped for the new, but they know which characters are coming up. So they try to make figures on those characters early on and try to get them out there to try to like tickle and build the hype. I think that's what's going to happen. So that's my guess. Kraven. Who do you think is going to be the next villain? Let me know right over here. Lizard, though. Okay. But yeah, out of the Sinister Six, who would you like to see as the next villain? There's Charlita 1. When are you going to review the Mafex Iron Man? Once it shows up in the mail, bro. Way to stay relevant, by the way. I asked you to let me know what. Okay, see, Josh the Boss. Here we go. A legitimate answer. He said Carnage. Even though I'd like to stick with the you need Deadpool introduced in Spider-Man. Probably Scorpion, Lizard, Venom. I'm hoping for Spider-Man UK. I need my boy Octavius. That's my favorite villain too. But later, Tom Hardy's Venom. Later, just a little bit later. And I'd like to see Spider-Man peeked in. I mean, we have such a good Spider-Man right now. They can take their time. Let them take their time. Let them do the good work. Let's not rush. Let's not hope that they rush things. You know what I mean? That's the things. I don't want things to be rushed. This movie was Electro would be a great choice. I'm just so happy with the Spider-Man. It's maybe my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. I got to see it again in the theater. I cannot wait to see it again. And 3D IMAX would be really cool with those Mysterio scenes, right? Right? I don't know. But I got to say, I was happy with the movie all the way through. The way Mysterio had gotten beaten, Spidey gives him one punch in the dome, that's it. The whole thing with Mysterio getting shot and everything. Like, the mocap suit, that he had a mocap suit. I was like, you guys are brilliant. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance as Mysterio was fantastic. When we find out, I knew, by the way, I called the plot line of Mysterio the whole time, right? You guys heard me say this many times that I think Mysterio is just creating these holograms and it's going to be a bad guy. People were thinking, it could be a good guy since he came from a different dimension. That was all a ruse. I love that they're doing that now. Also, one of my favorite Spider-Man movies in recent history for sure because they didn't spoil all the good stuff. I like that whole scene at the end with MJ. So, like, as a movie, before getting into any of the post-credit scenes, I loved it. I thought it was just so perfectly well packaged. It gave me all the Spidey stuff that I wanted. But then they give me an after-credit scene. Now, the first after-credit scene, spoilers. Chameleon would be a good one. They could do Chameleon. Somebody mentioned that with the tech, you know what I mean? You do Chameleon. But Mysterio was amazing. So happy with everything about everything in that movie I loved. But then they give us this after credit scene where Mysterio releases footage of Spider-Man being behind all those attacks and everything. And we get J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson one more time. Mind blown. I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it. I was fairly certain that this is what the reaction was like. Oh! Like that. Like, I think that's pretty much how I reacted to, whoa! Oh! And I lost it. Well, he's bald. It would have been cool if they added the hair, but you know that they're going. I mean, it reminded me of Alex Jones. Like, I feel like that's what they're going off of over here, was just spoofing Alex Jones just blatantly. The controversial website, dailybugle.net. I was like, whoa, yes! And he's talking like, oh, this is Spider-Man, and he's going off. Yeah, I mean, that's how J. Jonah Jameson talks. That's how Alex Jones talks. That's how J.K. Simmons talks while playing J. Jonah Jameson, and it just matches really well. It's been proven. If you're a fan of InfoWars or not, I don't care. I'm not judging anybody. We're not here about any of that stuff. I'm just saying that InfoWars has actually released doctored footage as news. You know what I mean? Like, they've actually released doctored footage as news. That's a fact. So the fact that they have J. Jonah Jameson do that too, it was just really cool. I just thought it made things really relevant, and I think they did a good job of doing it, and also without like poking fun at people that are Alex Jones fans or InfoWars fans. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I feel like they did it in a way where it was just like a cultural reference instead of actually like trying to pick any kind of political side. Because I don't like it when movies do that. Even if I have the same political views, it's like, I don't want us to go there. You know what I mean? Like, let's just like not talk about it. That's why I don't talk about that stuff on this channel further than like, as far as I have right now is like the furthest I've really gone, right? Like, I try not to discuss that stuff. So I liked that. I felt like it was a good cultural reference for us to have in this movie. And I don't think anybody else could play J.K. Anybody else could play J. Jonah Jameson as good as J.K. Simmons. I don't think it's possible. Like, you're not going to find anybody else to, like, say they want to bring Tony Stark back to life, or they want to give us a Tony Stark from another dimension. It can't be somebody else. It has to be Robert Downey Jr. You can't get other people to play these characters that are like perfectly casted. Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, perfect casting. J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson, perfect casting. You know, some of them that I will say McAvoy as a younger Professor X was really good though. You know, like other people can jump in on some of these, but I don't even think I don't think Patrick Stewart's Professor X was as spot on as J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson. I feel like there's something too kind about Patrick Stewart's Professor X. Professor X is a freaky dude. He's got some weird things going on with him, and there's like something about him that a lot of younger X-Men and a lot of X-Men like don't really trust him a bit here and there. So it's like that didn't really come through in Patrick Stewart. I feel like Patrick Stewart is too much of a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, we need a little bit more like corruption in our Professor X to get a more comic accurate Professor X, I think. You know, a little bit more controversial Professor X would be better. Deadpool's going to join the MCU. That's too perfect. Again, who can play Deadpool besides Ryan Reynolds? Nobody. Nobody's going to do it. They're going to bring Deadpool into the MCU. I know it. It's going to happen. It's too good. It's just way too good. They'll figure out a way. They'll make it work. Deadpool's going to be in the MCU, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Jesse Falcon, who works for Disney, he also created Marvel Legends. He was telling me that I had a conversation with Kevin Feige, and he was telling me everything that was lined up for the next several years. And he's like, Russ, it's awesome. He's flipping the pages, showing me this. Every next step of the way is just amazing. You are going to love it. So I'm like, okay, I trust, man. Kevin Feige knows what he's doing, man. I'm just super pleased. But yeah, J. Jonah Jameson is back. That's a piece that's one thing that left me a little sour about Far From Home, or not Far From Home, but Homecoming, is that we never got a really good relationship for Peter. I felt like we never got the Daily Bugle. And the fact that, you know, we don't really get the Daily Bugle so much in Far From Home, but we just get it at the very end. It's like it wrapped everything and made like a perfect Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. Got everything. But then we get another post-credits scene to get us back into the MCU. Yes. Okay. Secret Invasion's up next. They're gonna give us Secret Invasion. It's just way too much Secret Invasion for it to not be Secret Invasion. Or could it be the Kree Skull War? I don't know. Kree Skrull War, not Skull. Too much Misfits on my mind right now. I'm so excited for the Misfits. Okay, so because there's a show coming up in September. Anyway, that whole scene, loved it. Absolutely makes so much sense. Yeah, Nick Fury is going to be in outer space, working with Captain Marvel, getting shit done and figured out, and rebuilding the Avengers. Now, what's really cool about this movie is that the Talos Nick Fury, which I'm going to rearrange on my shelf over here. I'm going to put a Talos figure right next to Nick Fury on that Avengers Hero shelf. Because I have two Nick Furies next to each other. But the thing is that with Talos pretending to be Nick Fury, even though it's not really Nick Fury, the mission and everything is arranged by the real Nick Fury. He's going with this. He's telling Talos, look, we're going to try to reform the Avengers. That's our whole thing, is we're going to try to reform the Avengers. And I feel like that motive is basically the actual motive that Fury has. Like, okay, we're going to try to get a good defense. That, like, the same motive that he had all the way back up. Yeah, it could be Sword. Exactly. Yeah, it could be just setting up Sword. or it could just still be, yeah, because Shield's basically been gone, so it's gonna be like he's reforming with Sword, and yeah, that's basically it. So he's, and it makes total sense because instead of him like starting, he's starting from the ground up again, like how we saw in Iron Man 1. So that that would be funny. Cap saying language. So yeah, I think that's where they're gonna go with it. I am super stoked, man. I couldn't be happier. So many things I just didn't expect to happen. So sorry, hold on. I got a text message from a. Okay, it was AT&T. Weird. But yeah, my favorite scene of the movie was the first illusion scene, Mysterio illusion scene. That blew my mind. The imagery was amazing. Some people thought it was trying to like be a ripoff of Scarecrow. I could see where you're coming from, but it was definitely not. Like he wasn't dreaming, you know. Like he wasn't. It was Mysterio playing on like messing with him. Not even just his fears, but like just messing with him overall. You know, just so well done. I liked the jukes in this movie too. I've mentioned this term juke. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna go that way, go that way. Well, they did that for me a couple of times in this movie. The two jukes that they actually got me with, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I didn't write notes down because the babies were crying. But one of them was when Mysterio, when we first think he got Mysterio, and he didn't. And Mysterio actually ends up being behind him or something. I can't remember exactly. Can't wait to see the movie again. Someone try to remind me exactly how. But yeah, there's a part where it looked like Mysterio got, but he didn't, and I thought that was awesome. I loved that. And then there was another juke in the movie that made me really happy. Oh, that Fury shot him. Taskmaster and Rhino, my Peter. Oh, the Peter Tingle, right? The Peter Tingle. They brought back the spider sense, which we'd been missing in Homecoming. So that was awesome to see that again. Or Fury in quotes, Talos, like Spider-Man Far From Home. Can't wait for Miles to be in the MCU. That would be great to see. But I don't know. I feel like later, I don't know. There's just so much stuff. Well, if you haven't seen the movie yet, man, I think you're in the wrong place. Like we're talking all spoilers and stuff. Oh, Doctor Strange is going to erase the fact that Spider-Man, that everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Oh, did you guys catch that scene? Remember at the beginning of the movie when he's doing that benefit thing for Aunt May? I just really liked the visual of it, that seeing the Iron Spider suit in front of a whole bunch of press, everybody taking pictures and everything. I was like, oh my God, that's straight from the Civil War comic books. But we don't see him take the mask off. So that was awesome. I love that we don't see him take the mask off, but I thought he was gonna. I was like, oh no, he's gonna take the mask off. I don't want to do it. Please don't, please don't. I heard about that. Venom is going to be in the MCU. Senator Six will be in the MCU. I want Spidey to fight Batroc from Captain America. Why? It's gonna be a 2-second fight scene, man. Carnage and Venom, all of them gonna be in MCU. Yep. Night Monkey. Oh, I had said before in my reviews about the stealth suit that I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now I really like the stealth suit because it's his shield suit. Like that's basically what it is. That's his shield suit. That's his Agent Parker suit because it totally looks like it was given to him by that hella fine ass German chick that gave him the suit. And yeah, so I thought that was awesome. I thought that was great. I think Peter's too much of a beginner Spider-Man still to train Miles. Yeah, figure obsession. I think it's going to be a long time until we see Miles. The Legacy of Dragon. Thank you so much for contributing. I'm going to do a little jingle real quick. Okay? Get a little jingle. Got a little contribution. And hold on again. ShartimusPrime. All right. Thank you so much, The Legacy of Dragon. If you can direct a Marvel movie, what stories or characters will you direct? Oh my God. If I were to direct a Marvel movie, What would I do? Dude, I mean, like, if it was just up to me to pick anything, to pick any story, God, that's such a loaded question. I would have to really think about it really hard. I mean, basically what you're asking me is like, what is my favorite Marvel storyline, right? Um, God, what would I want to do? Like, honest, okay, the first thing that came to my mind, because I think one of my favorite and what I think is one of the more fun Marvel stories of all time is Maximum Carnage. Like, if I got to do a Maximum Carnage movie, I would make it rated R, and it would be, and I kind of have like a, I would Maximum Carnage. That would be like, it would be a huge, difficult movie to make, though. I mean, it should be. It would be way later on, and during or Sinister Six. Somebody said like the OG Sinister Six. Yeah, I would do the OG Sinister Six. But Maximum Carnage, like that would be a really fun one to make. You get so many characters in there. I mean, you have Reed Richards, Captain America. I mean, there's so many characters in that it may be even too hard, but that would be one I'd really want to do. But a little bit more of a grounded, like if I were to, okay, let's look at it realistically, okay? Because I met Kevin Feige once, all right? I met Bob Iger, all right? And let's just say they both find my YouTube channel, all right? This is not going to happen, I know. But let's say they find my YouTube channel, they like the collector documentary, and they think that's enough for them to let me direct a movie, which it wouldn't be, okay? But let's just say, all right, it's all like fantasy, but not something I think about because I'm not worthy to make a movie. But if that was the case, and they're to say, hey Russ, like what would you want to do? I would pick Daredevil. I feel like that would be in my realm is to create a Daredevil movie. I love the Netflix show. I think the Netflix show is amazing, but because I'm a big fan of the Netflix Daredevil, that's why I would want to make a Daredevil movie. I would use was it Henry Cox, right? Charlie Cox. Is it Charlie Cox or Henry Cox? I think it's Charlie Cox. As Daredevil, I would make it a Charlie Cox Daredevil. Like I would keep it somewhat tied to the Netflix show. So that's how I would go about it. I would make it look, all that time you spent watching Daredevil from Netflix will not be neglected. Yeah, it is Charlie Cox, right? It will not be neglected. I would keep that in and continue forward and give us a lot even more cooler stuff for Daredevil. So that's what I would do. Hey, Kevin Feige, hit me up, man. I'll make your Daredevil movie. I'll make it. I have another thing I would have a lot of fun with is one of my friend's students. One of my students is a lawyer and a huge Daredevil fan. I would I would be like, all right, Rich, are you down to help me make a Daredevil movie? Because I got to ask you, about some lawyer details and get all the logistics, get the right verbiage and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like to the point where it would be like, wow, did a lawyer write this movie? I would really get involved. So yeah, that would be, and the storyline. Okay, so what storyline would I pick? Born Again is one of my favorite storylines, but I feel like they kind of touched on that a bit in the TV show already. So I'd have to think harder on that. But yeah, definitely a Daredevil movie. I think that would be within my bounds. Plus, I love New York, and being able to shoot a movie in New York would be amazing. Yeah, the Frank Miller Daredevil, that was Born Again. Yeah. The other one that I really like is the one that Kevin Smith did with the Mysterio as a villain. That would have been really cool. I can't remember the name of that particular storyline, but the Kevin Smith one, but like I can't, Kevin Smith is already a film director and he wrote that story, so it would obviously be Kevin Smith to make that movie. Ghost Rider in the MCU, Guardian Devil, that's it. Yeah, thank you, Astro Zombies. Yeah, so that's that would be yeah, that would be really cool. Astro Zombies, dude, like I can't read that name without hearing music. It's just too funny. Prime Directive, exterminate. Too much horror business. I can't sing like Danzig. It's just not gonna happen. But I look, horror business is my favorite Misfits song. Nipple or tongue pierced. I don't have either of those and won't do either of them. Let's see if I can play this song without getting any copyright thing. Spider-Man, that is way high up. It's supposed to be up here. Spider-Man, 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 Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spin the web any size, catches thieves just like plastic out. There goes Spider-Man. So what happened at the end? Well, you want to get spoiled? You guys want to get spoiled? I think crazy because you want to get spoiled. Who's your least favorite superhero that has been introduced in the MCU? My least favorite superhero. Yeah, that's a tough one. My brother's left at the post-credit scene. Oh, knuckleheads! Oh, why did you do that? My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. My least favorite superhero in the MCU. You know, I'm gonna say Hawkeye. Yeah, and I like Hawkeye, but I think Hawkeye from the MCU is the character I'm most disappointed with, just by the way the character has been written and the way the character is played by Jeremy Renner. Now, I don't necessarily want somebody else to play Hawkeye. I just feel like there's this kind of carefree, hey, whatever happens, happens. Let's just go for it kind of vibe that we get with Hawkeye in the comics that we don't get in the MCU. There's like I feel like Hot Guy. Hey, just plain Steve. How you doing, man? But I do feel like, and then we don't get enough of the abilities of Hawkeye that we could have seen. You know, like a lot more Ricochet stuff would have been cool. Also, just seeing him, but the personality, I feel like the way he was written, I feel like Jeremy Renner would have been a lot more comfortable playing the character up like that too. You know, I think my favorite portrayal of Hawkeye though was in Age of Ultron. I think in Age of Ultron, I thought that was like the best that we see Hawkeye really. Even though I really liked him as Ronin in Endgame, so it's like Age of Ultron and then Endgame. But I loved him in Endgame, but yeah, if he was a little bit more of like a wise ass, you know, like Daredevil mentality, you know, stunt guy mentality, wise ass kind of guy is the Hawkeye I know. And I feel like we didn't get that, you know. And then there's just like not as much action from Hawkeye than I think we could have gotten. Living Laser. What's your favorite superhero than Hulk? Well, Spider-Man is my number one superhero. Next movie, Spider-Man would be in the next 2 to 3 years, and Daredevil can be used again after a 2-year cooldown. And since Peter's identity is revealed, you could be his lawyer. Hey, that's a good way to tie that in. I like that. Where do you put Far From Home's ranking in the MCU? That's a little tough, but like right now, like I'm so stoked off the movie. It's like in the top 5. You know, I loved it. I really loved it. I can't wait to see it again. I'm going to see it in like a 3D or something like that because it was amazing. Who's your favorite Spider-Man villain? Doc Ock. Also, did you heard about Transformers Siege Leader Class Astro Train? I did. It looks amazing. Far From Home is in my top 5 as well. Is Avengers Tower the new Baxter building? That's not confirmed. Could be Oscorp. Could be a Baxter building. We don't know for sure. Hey, I just remembered that Scorpion in Homecoming wanted to know who Spider-Man was, and in Far From Home, everyone knows who that is. So maybe Scorpion is the new villain. See, that's actually a really, really good point now that you mention it like that, because we have two ties. It very well, even though I would prefer the next villain to be an OG Sinister Six villain, it very well could be Scorpion because they've built him up twice now, right? We get him at the end of Homecoming, and then now we see J. Jonah Jameson. So it's like, you can't have Scorpion without J. Jonah Jameson, and now we have JJJ, so could be Scorpion. Fantastic Four in the MCU. I know, I'm going to die. This is like, so here's the thing, man. And I don't know what it is about us as people. I'm just saying, generally as us as people, we do this thing where when we think things are going well, we tend to think that it's going to end really soon. Like when Avengers 1 came out, people were like, oh, people are going to have oversaturation with the superheroes. It's going to be over soon. And no, Avengers kept on going and going. And then now that phase 3 is wrapped up, now we're thinking, okay, it's not going to be as good from here on out, but man, it looks like it's going to be awesome. I don't know. Just playing Steve. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, man. And and then we got to do a little jingle. All right. Thank you, Steve. That was for you. And do you think revealing Peter's identity at the end was a mistake? We won't see the payoff from that for at least a couple of years, and I doubt the next movie will pick up right after this. When's our next MCU film? Because we won't see the payoff from that. Because the next MCU film is it Black Panther? No, Guardians 3. Crap, I should know this just like right off the top of my head. But I think this was actually a cool move because they teased. See, that was another juke that I got, is I thought they were going to show off that I was under the impression that they're going to reveal Peter Parker as Spider-Man to the world towards the beginning of the movie when we see all the press surrounding him. He's in the Iron Spider suit, reminded me of the comics in Civil War. So I thought we were going to see Peter Parker get revealed. So in my mind, I was like, oh, that's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. And then it does happen. I was like, oh, okay, nice. So, and I don't consider that a double juke because it was in my head. You know what I mean? It's not like the movie really let us into that. It was just in my head. But I think it was a good move. And I mentioned this earlier before you jumped on the chat, Steve, that I think the next villain is going to be Kraven. I think it's going to be Kraven hunting for Spider-Man. So with that in mind, it's making me feel like it's awesome. But we won't see the payoff from that until the next Spider-Man movie. And you're thinking that it won't. Okay, I see where you're getting at, because other stuff has to happen in the MCU from now until the next Spider-Man movie. And how are they going to make up for that time? You know, when we get into the next Spidey movie, because years have passed. I have a feeling that the next couple of MCU movies will be hey! Hold on a second. No. See, this is okay. See, I'm dude. This is like what's really hard about having two babies in the house right now, is that baby's been crying for like the last 5 or 10 minutes. So here I am sitting thinking that Charlita 1 just went to go do something and forgot about the baby. And I walk over there, and then there she is holding the baby with the baby crying in her face, meaning the whole time she's been dealing with the baby crying in her face while she's trying to soothe her and help her and stuff. Oh, God. It's not an easy existence. And by the way, I got so upset at just stupid little things right now because I'm not well slept and just everything's hard. But somebody left something saying, I'll announce the giveaway. I have not forgotten. Somebody said, because I was running a couple minutes late doing the live show, somebody said, I think you forgot. I got 2 babies in this house. I ain't forget. There's a lot of shit on my plate, man. There's a lot on my plate. Don't think I forgot. It's just because I have a lot going on right now. For anything, for any reviews, for any things I talk about, if you don't see me post about it when you want me to, I did not forget. It's just that there's a lot going on right now. Stressed out in Miss Prime over here, man. A lot. So don't think I forgot. 2 babies, 2 adults, very, very, and 1 person working. It's very hard. All right. So be patient. And I'm mostly speaking to the younger viewers because the older viewers understand, but it's a lot. I was doing a live stream. I was doing a Patreon exclusive live stream earlier today. Oh my God. Joey was there. It's like, I don't want to get hell pissed. I'm like letting myself get pissed off right now. I'm trying not to, but I lost my room to Comic-Con. So it's like all of a sudden no room. And then I had somebody else offering me a second room, and I wanted that over the room that I already had. And I had to deny that one. And then this one had gotten taken away. So now I tried to go back to that one, and they said, you can't. We got somebody else staying in that room. Well, will that somebody else let us stay in that room? That's a hard no, you can't stay in that room. So it's not, so it's been, I was supposed to have my X-Men 3-pack. And look at you guys leaving, man. There's like a whole bunch of you guys leaving. I'll stop talking about it. Jeez. But, all right. So just plain Steve. Thank you. So hold on a second. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Jingle. All right. So he says, right. Unless they continue his story in another MCU movie, I don't think the next movie, unless they continue his story in another MCU, I don't think the next movie will have Peter as a 16-year-old kid. Time is going to pass, and I think that they'll gloss over the fallout from that. So what you're saying is basically you think that Fantastic Four in the quantum realm. Someone just said that's a cool concept. Unless they continue his story in another MCU movie, I don't think the next movie will have Peter as a 16-year-old kid. Damn, I would hate to see them just like skip. It would be cool if they skipped to him being a senior in high school. I would like that, like the first 3 movies to be like his high school years, and then it moves on to like the real Spider-Man stuff, which is my favorite when he's in college. But they would have to continue his story if they're gonna. But so what I had in mind was them not necessarily continuing his story in another MCU movie, but like the other MCU movies kind of like being out of time from what's happening on Earth. Like, for instance, like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, an Eternals movie, a Captain Marvel 2 movie. Did I already say Guardians 3? I think I did. But like the movies that take place like outside of the timeline that we have on Earth right now, I feel like those kinds of movies will help us, help keep things consistent in the Spider-Man movie. That way, we could jump back to where we're at right now, and it won't be so weird. That's what I'm hoping for. Does that make sense? I think that could make sense if they step away from the continuity that we have right now and take us to Eternals, take us to Guardians 3, and then come right back to Earth where we are where we left off. What is the line? Does anybody know what the actual? And Doctor Strange 2. It could take place. All right, could take place. I don't think Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson should be in the next Spider-Man movie. I think we should still wait for that. Yeah, like take us out. Thanks, Ash. Yeah, like take us out. What's your favorite figures you own? Too loaded. MCU is in the year 2023 right now. Oh, that's right. They're in the future, the year 2023. So, well, that's what I mean is come back to the year 2023. That makes a lot of sense, though. They're just a few years ahead. Can you make a video in which said babysits Lord Emetron? No. That would be kind of weird. I don't know how she would take with that. Maybe they can introduce Citizen Z? Citizen V, you mean? Since Falcon, I can't understand what Maria is writing. But do you like Marvel's Green Goblin? Yeah, I love Green Goblin. That's one of the best Spider-Man villains of all time. Who do you want as Wolverine? You want to know who I honestly would like to see as Wolverine? And I'm going to piss people off by saying this, but I really think Tom Cruise would be a great Wolverine. I know. If it's not Tom Cruise, I want it to be. I like Sean Long as Wolverine. Okay, if not Tom Cruise, then Sean Long, and then an unknown. That's where I would go with that. But yeah, either Tom Cruise or an unknown. Shartimus, are you on the crack? Hey man, look, 2 reasons. All right, here. 3 reasons why I would choose Tom Cruise. Okay, number 1, he's very short. Tom Cruise is very, very short. Number 2, Tom Cruise, I think, can let himself go crazy. Like, I really think he can go full nuts. And I think Tom Cruise's acting ability is strong enough to where he could really deliver on a crazy, feraled out Wolverine. I think he can give us that. Also, number 3 is the guy is still in fantastic shape. He just seems to get bigger and bigger. And I think he would just look like a great Wolverine. The only problem is that, yeah, it's Tom Cruise. And people, you think he's too old? Wolverine is supposed to be older than everybody else. So I don't know. And he isn't hairy enough. It's a movie. They could just... I'll donate my hair, all right? We'll just cut a little bit of this off. It grows back. Donate some ShartimusPrime hair to make a good Wolverine. There you go. I'm not actually hairy enough to be Wolverine. I think. I don't know. I might be. I've got hairy arms. A lot of people say that in the reviews when they see the arms. But a new Hulk movie will be bad because it won't smash anything. We'll see what they do with Hulk in the future. 6 short arms for Wolverine. I want the Fantastic Four to take place in the 60s, and by the end of the movie, they get lost in a space vortex or something and have them come back. Or in the quantum realm, right? Quantum realm, someone mentioned that earlier, that the Fantastic Four can come out of the quantum realm. God, is that playing with the timeline stuff too much? Are they going to bank on that? I mean, these writers are so good. I have a feeling they're going to give us something really good. But that's a cool idea. I like that idea. 1/6 Hulk Endgame, will it be made? Oh yeah, for sure. They're gonna do one. Spoilers should be in the title of this video. Like, you guys should all know that spoilers. A Marvel zombie movie, that would be great to see long, quite a way down the road. You know who can make a good Wolverine? Norman Reedus. I think he has potential. I don't know. I think he's too chill. I think he's almost too chill. I want somebody a little bit. You gotta, like, the way Hugh Jackman was able to go full on feral. I love that. That's like my favorite part of Wolverine, is that he lets go. Like, he's able to just I've never seen Norman Reedus like fully really let go. Even in his angriest moments on The Walking Dead, he's still like really controlled and calculated. I want to see an actor that can like show me crazy. Like, I want to see somebody that can give me a war face, like a true, like, going full on, like that. That look that tigers have in their eyes. Nobody can replace Hugh Jackman. Well, it's going to be a different, a different Wolverine. It won't be replacing him. Keanu as Logan? No, I don't want that either. I want to see somebody else. Keanu Reeves is Wolverine. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that either. I honestly think we would be best off with an unknown. If they gave us somebody that we really like, Hugh Jackman was an unknown. Like I think they can find a good unknown out there to play a good Wolverine. But as far as accomplished actors go, you know who actually always thought would play a good Wolverine? Bradley Cooper. I don't know. I think Bradley Cooper has that look. I know he's not gonna, all right? He's already Rocket and everything. But I think Bradley Cooper has the look, you know what I mean? With Dwight and The Walking Dead, Daryl goes crazy. Did he, Dwight? I'm not caught up with season 9, so don't tell me anything. I still got to see season 9. If that happened in season 9. Oh no, it's happened again. Another lovely life that has come to an end. Look at my bare hands, they're covered in blood. My neck was feeling sore, and it's only because they go slick as they rip through my skin. Knuckles and it begins because you can't stop. It has to be me. Eternal life granted for eternal misery. Well, I know one day that I'm going to hell for the lives that I've taken. There's too many to tell, and the good that I've done ain't worth nothing at all. Cause I'm going down in history with blood on my claws. This is a little song I made up. I want to know what you guys think. Hey, bub, get back to work. Chuck will let you in his home, and you don't deserve all these good people that you have in your life. Oh, we got babies. All right, we're going to have to wrap up the live show soon. You guys want to see the babies? We got babies in here. Turn on this side. Lord Emmatron, dressed like a Wonder Woman. What are you doing? What's with your belly? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Captain America sticker. All right. Say hi. There she is, the beautiful Lord Emmatron. And then there's the Milatron. Or the Milamus Prime. We haven't decided. I guess it could be Emmatron and Milatron. It would work either way. But these are my new cutenesses. I have my white baby and I have my brown baby. I got my salt and pepper combo right here. She can walk now? Oh yeah, she's a year and a half old. She kind of looks like a dead dad.
Emma was on the channel when she was this size.
Yeah, that was her first appearance. It was Can I hold Mila though? Okay.
Oh, I don't want to disturb her. She was crying earlier because I put her down for a little bit so I can change Emma. Emma had a big
down.
Down.
She wants to go down.
You want to get down? You want to touch everything?
Oh, I want to hold a Mila.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't think that's a good idea. Because you're going to hand her back to me and she's going to be fussy again.
Oh, okay.
I already just went through this twice.
You think, who said she looks like me? This one looks like me, or that one looks like me?
It's kind of hard to
Emma or Mila? If they ever do a Miles Morales one, you're the man. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ash. Gotta try for that boy now. I think I'm gonna cut everything off, man. I think I'm done. No. I'm just gonna go like full on bathroom surgery. I'm not even gonna go to a doctor.
Gross.
Shit.
The heck?
I'm going full on pain Olympics here.
Yeah, that was what.
Don't Google that, by the way.
Yeah, don't.
Don't, like, really.
Seriously.
Like not like
even like that's a joke.
Yeah, like really. Do yourself a favor and don't. Okay, bye.
Where are you going, Emma?
She closed the door. Over
See
here.
if she comes in.
Okay.
Who's there? Come in.
Come in. Yeah. Oh, hi, Emma. Hello. Okay, bye. Where she walked away from the party yesterday, just casually waving behind her shoulder. Hi. I've relied on you for years for reviews, and you've never failed me. Oh, right on, Geek Guy Collector. That makes me very happy to hear.
Did you talk about
Shartimus Tingle. Yeah, we talked about Spider-Man. What was Charlita One's favorite part of the Spider-Man Far From Home
We had the
movie?
same favorite part.
Or was it the
hologram illusion,
illusion scene?
that all that crazy.
Yeah, we've
all that crazy stuff.
We've gone deep into spoilers already, so they've all been warned. They didn't know.
Yeah, that was really neat. I mean, I've never read the story, so I didn't see it coming at all. That Mysterio was this grand illusionist the way he was, and it was just, to me, it was just super cool to see all those cool effects. And
yeah, the visual effects of the movie were amazing.
Like, what I'm trying to think right now,
Legacy
like all the
of
different
Doom
things that came up, and like there was the Iron Man as a zombie, like that was crazy to see. And then there was the glass.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we see the Mark 85 zombie thing.
Yeah, all the Spider-Man coming out.
I forgot about that. That was great. Yeah.
What the heck else was there? Because there was just like a ton. I remember he got hit by a train and was dragged about for a while.
Yeah, I was surprised
then
he was able to
like
take
Nick
that hit.
Fury, right? So then there was like that fake out where like it was all done with, right? And then he was like got shot by. He thought he was talking to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He was all relieved to see him, but then he got shot by him. Like that was just all crazy.
Right.
And then I remember like, wasn't there a quote like at some point where Mysterio was like, "Don't believe anything that they see" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, the thing with the shot from Nick Fury, that totally caught me by surprise. Legacy of Dragon. Thank you so much. That's a little jingle when they contribute. They
get the jingle.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh God, I haven't tried it. What's my best Stan Lee impersonation? Hello, true believers. Yeah, I don't know. That's.
Well, so that was your favorite part, right?
The illusion scene, yeah, the initial illusion, the whole thing, like with Spidey coming out of the beard, like the Spidey illusion things coming out of the. Give me that. That is not. Can I have this?
I really like the part on the bus too.
This is a giveaway right
when
here.
When he first got the glasses, and he initiated the glasses.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man. She goes, "This is Spider-Man."
The drone came down and was about to attack. Flash.
Okay, see you. She goes, "I see you."
I thought the drone attack was pretty cool when Spidey kept the drone from attacking Flash. So mistakenly called a drone down to kill him.
Yeah, it wasn't Flash. It was the Asian kid.
Oh yeah,
it was the
because
Asian.
He had the picture of him.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
Scene was hella funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He was like just in his undies, right? Like, what's anybody supposed to think?
Yeah, right. With the super hot dominatrix. I'm glad that there wasn't a. I was actually happy that there was no Stan Lee cameo in this. Like, I thought that was like cool. All right, he's gone, man. Like, that's, even though this is like his staple character and everything, it was still, I thought, very appropriate to not have Stan in this movie. Like,
he was still in the beginning Marvel role that happens.
Oh, they show his face.
The letters, right?
I didn't see him there.
Really?
If they did, I didn't catch it.
We did go to see it at 12 o'clock at night.
No, we saw it at 11.
Well, it was very close to 12 o'clock.
No, it wasn't. It was 11. That's not 12. 12 o'clock is 12 o'clock. 11 is 11.
All right, tomato. Well, and so we were actually supposed to see it earlier, but then there was this shootout over at the theater that we were supposed to see.
Which I still need to get a refund for my tickets for. I need to go to Tan Fran and get a refund from the. Yeah, because there's a shooting at the freaking mall.
Did you guys hear about that? There's a mall called Tan Fran Mall in San Bruno. They had a shooting. It didn't happen in the theater or anything.
It was right by the theater.
Still, because they had to close down the whole location. And the SWAT team had to clear out the entire mall. They really just shut everything down for the rest of the day. So we actually had to take. We had to, not see that showing. We couldn't go there. I mean, and then we had to get tickets to another theater in San Francisco. So yeah, you still have to go get those. That's like your second or third refund, like in a row. Yeah,
and if they give me those freaking discount or those gift certificates again instead of money back, I'm gonna post about it. So I'm about to lose my shit over there at the Century. I got so upset. They wouldn't give me a refund for one thing, and then I was just like, yeah. So they better give me cash instead of those gift certificates. All right, you guys. Here she is. It's the Lord Emetron. This is cuteness. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, you're not gonna say hi? Want to hear the guitar? All right, you guys. Are you going to buy the Marvel 80 Years Thor? Come on. Wilbur, what kind of question is that, man? You know I'm gonna get all of them. Any Marvel Legend figure, I'm gonna get it. All of them. All the Marvel Legends. How's this one go? All right, here we go. ShartimusPrime theme song. Closing out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Lord of Dragon, just playing Steve. You guys, thank you so much for contributing to the Shark Fund. Appreciate it, you guys, and I appreciate everybody that was here today. This was a not ideal, and Ryan Farn. Don't tell me I screwed up. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh my God! Did I may have missed one of the super chats from Ryan.
How do you?
And I can't go back.
I'm not wearing my glasses to even see.
Did I miss? Did I miss?
See that one bright green one?
No, but I'm trying to go further back. It was like his popped up like around the same time as someone else's, if it did pop up. Crap. Am I tripping? Did I? Oh, here we go.
Do you click this thing?
Let me see here. Pop out. Oh wait, pop out chats. Nope. Sorry, you guys. I'm not. Let's see here.
Why?
Hey, get down, Emma. This is a big deal for me because this like could possibly be like the second time. Yeah, Emma. Ryan Farnham, are you there, bro? Ryan Farnham. Damn it. Did he? God. I may have missed Ryan's super chat. Logan Michael, Anti-Funko, thank you so much. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Is that it?
No. No, this is Logan Michael. It was from Ryan. We just did, because here's the thing is that last time Ryan was on here, so I'm just gonna put it out there because this is my mistake. But Ryan was on here last time and he did a super chat, and I think like I misread it or something, or I missed it, and I made a sarcastic remark, and I made a mistake or something like that. And then this time he did another super chat, and I straight up either made it up in my head or I straight up didn't answer the question that he asked me. And that's why I feel like a total jerk right now, because Ryan is a patron and he totally doesn't deserve that. So I'm trying to. Oh wait.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Wait, add inserted. What is that?
You inserted an ad?
Oh, I just started a commercial? Aw, man. But is there any way I could just look at the super chats?
Did it pause you? Are you?
Ah.
That's what happens when you give senior citizens technology. Where's the super chat?
This is not enough sleep. That's what this is.
Where's the super chat?
Yeah, you can say it's that, but I know it's lack of sleep. No, I'm trying to get. It's not going to let me see all of the super chats. I was just like hoping I could see all the super
Well,
chats.
He never responded to you in the comments. Maybe you.
Well, no, but it was a while ago. That's what I'm saying. Is like I could have possibly have made it
I
up.
can check my phone to see if it's
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Play your song, and I'll come back with it.
All right. If anything, then I'm gonna like do a dedicated shout out.
Screenshot it and send it. Later.
Well, I don't think they're gonna be able to find it because I can't go back and find it. Give me your toys. Okay, you get all the toys. You get all the toys. Who's the super chat? Why is the super chat? And I haven't watched the movie. Well, then don't be here if you haven't seen the movie yet. Wow, just realized you're almost at 500K. Thank you, man. But yeah, they're. Come on. Did Ryan leave? God. I'm trying to see if I can just find the super chats by themselves. Sorry, you guys. This is like so lame. I'm gonna try to message him on.
I didn't see any from anyone on mine. And mine goes back all the way to 347. So
347?
Yeah.
The live stream started at 3. It could have been anywhere between 3 o'clock and 3:47. That's what sucks is that it doesn't give you. It doesn't show you like the earliest messages.
No, it cut my screen cut off from there. So you had.
How do I find just the super chats? Like, why doesn't it just show what Joaquin Phoenix is going to be amazing? I think it's going to be a good Joker movie. I think people are mostly going to like that Joker movie.
Let me see if you have a total.
Oh, somewhere? Thank you. No, doesn't say. Send a highlighted message. She's getting into doors. She's getting into doors. I can hear it. No, I'll find it. If I find it, I'll find it. But wait, ad inserted. What's with the ad? What does that do when I hit that ad? Why is the G1? When you make another Marvel, please respond. Dude, like whenever I can, man. I got 2 babies in the house, so it's like I want to, but I don't know when. Your guess is as good as mine when the next documentary is coming. I wanted to actually months ago. Yeah, I saw this chat from Logan. I'm looking for the super chat from Ryan. That's the one. Is Ryan Farnham. He's a really good dude, and I don't want to just. I just messaged him right now on Patreon, and it's like I'm trying to. Because I think what had happened was that he put through in a super chat like around the same time as somebody else, and I didn't get to the question. And then for some reason, I just remembered like way later. Unless I'm just making it up in my head. All right. Yeah, tell him I'm sorry, and I'm going to give him an exclusive shout-out in a different video. Or answer the question like in an action figure review. I know, but making the same mistake twice with one person that doesn't deserve it, that definitely doesn't deserve it to happen even once, it's like, oh, God, it kills me. So if I did make that mistake, I made the same mistake twice with somebody that does not deserve that. What does Alex say? Oh, you're human. At least you're doing way more than most people in the streets. Oh, right on, Alex. I appreciate the kind words. Right on. But damn it, I'm not. Yeah. Was Spider-Man Far From Home a comic book? No. There's no Far From Home comic. Batman versus Iron Man. Iron Man would win. Oh, and did I call you Mohammed by accident? Mohammed? Mohiman. God, I'm screwing up all left and right. Mohiman. My bad, Mohiman. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah. Are you going to do the big time letdown stop motion compilation video tomorrow? Yeah. So that's what's lined up on the channel. Is how funny is that though? Like the guy that's helping me get an apology to, I like say his name wrong. But the so tomorrow, big time letdown Spider-Man compilation video. Then I'm thinking the Brotherhood, the X-Men, Magneto, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Family Matters 3-pack Sunday, and then Monday I'll kick in the Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave Marvel Legends reviews, and then I'm gonna have some other stuff going in there. All right, Emmanuel, you have not been ignored. Are you planning on reviewing the Mayfix? Oh, okay. He said he'll message me back. See, let's see if you can get back to me in time to where I'm still here on the live stream. I'm like hanging on to this live stream right now because it's like I want to at least do the super chat justice of responding within the same live show. That's I have both. I have one DTOF and then I have shows. Ooh, that's a nice chord right there. I don't know. I like those dissonant chords that sound ugly. My favorite Spider-Man comic? Can't remember the name of the issue. There's this one where Doc Ock is going after, I think it was Aunt May, and Peter had to go across all of New York to get to her. And Doc Ock was causing havoc. I think that's like probably my favorite. I don't know. My favorite comic. My favorite comic of all time, I say, is Preacher. Actually. Oh, okay. He said he messaged me over here. All right. Let's see here. I turned into a Martian. Whoa, I can't even recall my name. Oh, well, there's times I can't even sleep at night. Oh, I turned into a Martian today. I don't see anything from Ryan. Where did he message me? Was it on Facebook or something? Like, did he message me on somewhere weird? Or on... I got no message response from him on Patreon over here. He hit me up on like on Facebook. I have to go sign in on Facebook now. Let's see. Hate going on Facebook because I always get into a rabbit hole of stuff going on. The Legacy of Dragon. Thank you very much, sir. Last super chat. When you get the new big time Spider-Man, will you replace the old one with the new one? Keep it up, Shark. Been watching since 2017. Thank you so much, Legacy of Dragon. I'm glad you've enjoyed the channel since 2017 because I've got to say the last 2 years has been especially taxing on my personal life. Just having kids, you know what I mean? So it makes me really happy. Thank you. I will decide after I review that figure. We will see. I have a couple ideas in mind of what I want to do, but I am most likely going to replace the big time letdown Spider-Man with the GameStop exclusive. Or it's not technically, but you know, the new one. So I may replace it. I'm more likely to replace it than not, but it really depends on how I feel about that figure afterwards. Because I may give it a different name. I'm probably going to end up giving a name. I'm probably going to end up giving a name to that new Spider-Man figure that we haven't seen. I have Who is it? Hi, Emma. Whoa, there's the Emma. Say hi. Hi.
I said it.
Yeah. You sharted? You sharted? Oh, okay. You want to sit up here with Dada?
Okay.
Okay. It's like she clearly wanted to. She's so funny like that. She'll like hint at wanting something, and then I ask her, "Oh, do you want that?" And that Lord Ematron, you're my little Wonder Woman. Oh, you're so cute.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you want to go now?
Okay.
Hey, oh, thank you so much, Joey. Thank you so much, brother. I don't see. Okay, so. Oh, okay. Okay, she wants to go. Bye bye. You gonna close the door? Uh-oh, are you okay? Oh, you close the door on your foot? You close the door on your little toes? Oh.
Okay.
Oh wait, the jingle, Joey. Almost forgot. Ugh. Yeah. That was awful. Awesome. Thank you. There goes Lord Ematron. Thank you. Oh shit. I don't want to knock over the DTOF. Okay, he said he can't go on YouTube. Sorry, brother. I did my best. Oh, he can't right now. All right. But anyway, thank you, Ryan. I'm gonna make it up to you one way or another, man. Just keep up the great work, man. Always love the vids. 11 years of watching now. I can't believe it. Yeah, from the very beginning, dude. It's nuts. She's like, oh, she could reach all the way up there now. Isn't that freaky? God, it's so scary. I did buy a new lock for this door. I just haven't installed it yet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much. I don't know when the next live show will be, but I had a great time today. Thank you for everybody that got into the super chat. And thank you, Mohammed. We love you too, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for also helping out, getting a hold of Ryan. But hopefully you got the apology. He was not forgotten. That's like, all right. So I got that across. But thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed this live stream. And yeah, we'll close out with the ShartimusPrime theme song. ShartimusPrime. ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, those are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking fat hits, taking fat shits. Subscribe, you pinch man. Yay! Know her favorite song? Thank you guys so much. Know her favorite song is Spider-Man. I just want to see if I get a reaction from her. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, there goes Spider-Man. He's a strong listen book. He's got radioactive blood. Can't swing from a thread. Take a look overhead. Hey there goes Spider-Man. in the chill of the night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame is ignored, action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang up. Whenever there's a hang up, you're called Spider-Man. Okay, so she doesn't like Dada singing that much, and can you blame her? I don't. But thanks again, you guys. Hopefully that didn't just flag the whole video, because I did need to get a post up today. So hopefully my singing was bad enough to where it didn't show up. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much, and please stay tuned for the big time letdown Spider-Man compilation video going up tomorrow, and I will catch you guys later. Say goodbye, Emma. Say goodbye to Emma. Say goodbye to Emma. Say got the tickle, tickle, tickle. You got the tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. Why you eat your hand? Why you eat your hand? I want some of that.
No.
All right. Family time. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Peace. We'll figure out where the button is. Where's the button? Is that the button? Is that the button? We'll see.